Oh, hello. Okay, now it's going. I was afraid that it wasn't recording or I did something wrong because it's been such a long time ever since. It was three whole months. And the thing is, I was supposed to live stream relatively sooner. I was supposed to go um on the 1st of this month. However, there were many games that were celebrating Easter that were kind of goated, and I got very distracted. And I asked twice, like, should I go live while the event is on and everything? And they were like, nah, wait until it's over. And it's mostly been over. I got everything I wanted to get, and I was really happy about it. But, anyways, without further ado, also feel free to skip up until this point, since that intro is kind of long and unnecessary, but it is what it is, and I love yapping. Um, we'll see whatever comes out for however long it comes out, cause every time I say I'm just gonna take a specific time frame, it ends up taking a lot longer than it should. Alrighty. Spirit, what messages do you have? Like, what is this reading even going to be about? Like, okay, Three of Swords. Not lovely. Okay. Three of Swords. What else, Spirit? What else? Oh? I could have sworn somebody spoke in the chat because I got a bit of a chat raid going on. I guess it got filtered out. Good thing. Because I always like keeping my chats safe. Also, reminder, even though it's in my channel description, if you are minors, you're welcome to watch my videos whenever they don't have like a filter for age verification on, because it doesn't have anything explicit in the video. However, I would feel more comfortable if minors did not interact with my content, because I believe minors deserve their own spaces, surrounded by people their own age, you know? So, alright. Without further ado, alrighty. Ace of Pentacles. Nice. 4th of July may be significant. July is coming over soon. Ooh, somebody is in isolation right now. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Do you have a question? Or would you just rather hear the general reading that I'm giving? Okay, Four of Swords. Alrighty, it looks like somebody is taking time for themselves. Somebody here could be facing some kind of financial hardship. I'm so sorry, guys. Also, I felt really inclined to say, um, unfortunately, some people were calling me fear-mongering, or that I was fear-mongering people and saying, like, negative stuff, when in reality, literally, all I was trying to do was say things that I was picking up on, and not. That's why I say, like, if you're not in a good mental health place to hear messages, then, like, don't. Like, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, but don't hurt your mental health by listening to something that you might find unsavory. But I will also speak my truth kindly but firmly, because some people out here do need to hear some of the things that are being said. So there's that. Yeah, you guys have been feeling kind of burnt out actually by whatever this is. This could be money matters, it could be in regards to a job. I'm just like seeing somebody in a desk just frustrated, like almost like, what am I even doing? Is this even what I want to be doing? Kind of thing. Some of you could like work in like accounting, or you could work in those like office jobs that are really soul sucking and you're like contemplating if you should. And also, please take my readings with a grain of salt. Never make permanent, hasty decisions based on my readings. I am only here to confirm inklings that you already had that you weren't so sure of, but like you had those inklings, so you're like, okay, yeah, I will plan, I will, put everything on a scale and just balance everything, as you see fit, but please never do anything risky or hurt yourself or people around you or anything of the sort. That is not the purpose of me giving these readings. Um, However, I do see that you've kind of been putting a lot more effort in than the payout that you've been receiving. It's possible that you've, if this is about like a corporate type company type of thing, it's possible that you just have been just so passionate about the work that you put in and you often feel like overlooked about this. And Spirit is here to say that that won't go unnoticed. Like the energy that we put into places comes back to us because that's the law of correspondence. Um, so it can be either good energy, bad energy, or neutral. Like it could literally just be, you know, um, just energy that, like, say for example, it's the law of cause and effect because they're showing me the justice card. Um, like you do something and then that the effect of you doing that specific thing, whether it's good, bad, or neutral. And a lot of the times, unfortunately, people have this idea about the the karmic laws and everything that they're like, oh, because I didn't get this, then this is gonna happen to this person because they didn't give me this. And you have to remember that things are much more complicated than that. It's not all just black and white. Like there's a lot of it's a whole spectrum. The way I like to see it now is that there's different shades of colors. Not that you can't see it black and white. Sometimes some things can be black and white. However, isn't it like much more fun and whimsical to just see everything with different shades of colors, like the color theory? Some of you guys could be artists, you don't have to be. Some of you guys could be writers or have been contemplating on kind of like leaving the corporate life to dedicate yourself to be a more independent creator. You could be a mixture, like an artist and a writer. And you know what? In the end of the day, we have bills to pay. We still live in a capitalistic society, unfortunately, and there are certain things that we need to kind of abide by, you know. And there is nothing wrong with you really like balancing out. Like, say, for example, you want to work a 9 to 5, or you have to work a 9 to 5 to kind of meet your needs. That's okay. You can also dedicate some of that time to write, to create, what I've been trying to do is right now, I'm not gonna say for what reason, but I've been kind of looking for jobs available in the market. But at the same time, I'm not gonna stop doing tarot. I'm gonna find time during the weekend to post my tarot readings, or 1 to 2 hours after my shift to do my tarot readings, so that I can have, that extra, like, side hustle. So maybe some of you guys have been considering doing that. I will say right now, the astrological placements, are really favorable, especially with like all the go-getter type of energy. I have no idea what planet is going direct, but it definitely feels fiery. So somebody like verify that for me, please, because that's just the overall energy that I'm feeling. Or it could also be that you guys have some prominent fire placements. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright. Yeah, it's like you guys are contemplating between staying where you're at or moving in a different direction. Like, finding more stability, you know? I keep hearing grass is greener where you water it. So maybe some of you guys could have like gone for a specific job opportunity that looked promising, like it looked. Oh, it's Aries? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But some of you guys could have um looked at an opportunity like it was very promising and it had all of these benefits and all of these things that looked very beneficial in the surface, but then like once you're in it, you're just kind of like, I don't think I like this. Uh-uh. No. Like once you're in the reality of the situation, you're just kind of like, mm, nope. I've had my fair share of moments like that. Alrighty. What else, Spirit? I think, especially right now, with everything going on in the world, like I won't go too into detail, but if you know, you know. Um, I think there is a certain level of discernment that is needed at the moment, especially when it comes to things related to art um and like even like writing articles, what employers you're accepting offers from, because there's a lot of unsavory, unsafe stuff out there. Um, Honestly, I feel like Spirit have has been giving some of you guys signs regarding the situations. Like it's like, yeah, this is no longer serving you. You need to find something that is more aligned with your healing, because if I'm right and you guys are in this reading, you know, some of it might resonate with you, and the bit that does resonate with you is because you guys feel more like free spirits, people that want to do things at their own pace, want to feel that coziness. You're like, I'm not gonna like compromise my inner peace for something that is actively soul draining, actively um causing me harm. And honestly, I love this for you guys. I love this energy. Because regardless, yeah, I don't think your spirit team is ever gonna let you guys out in the cold. For someone very specific out there, somebody has been wondering if you guys would ever go homeless, and it's a big no from spirit. I'm hearing it so clearly right now. Just big no. We would never allow that. You know, like, because some of you guys could be like struggling to make ends meet, or you could struggle with some kind of disability or some kind of cognitive impairment that makes it harder for you to be able to do tasks, and that is absolutely okay. Never allow anybody to make you feel some type of way because you have disabilities or because you can't, because some people are not built for the 9 to 5 model. I'm including myself in this because I am not built for the 9 to 5 model, but you know, unfortunately sometimes we got needs and we got places to be, therefore we must push through. So I wish everybody here honestly like the same um if you can't find, like, it's okay to accommodate to your needs whenever you need them, because and the thing people struggle to realize now in this society that we live in is that not everybody will be the same when it comes to 9 to 5s and hard labor and stuff like that. Everybody has different stamina, everybody has different intellectual levels, everybody has different emotional intelligence levels. Like we're all built different, literally. Um, so what might seem easy to one person can be complicated to another person, and that's okay because if we were all the same, it would literally be so boring. And then because one person is good at one thing and another person is good at a different thing, then in a way, kind of everybody helps each other out because one person is good at one thing and then another person is good at another. And some people are blessed enough to be good at multiple different things. And that alone is a skill. It's like being multifaceted, and that's awesome, you know? Alrighty. Ooh, somebody out there really needed to hear that. It's like, guys, don't doubt yourselves, please. Yeah. Oh, okay. Someone out here could be either a Leo, um, you could be a Leo, you could be something about church. Somebody has been going to church and putting some petitions on church, like in the church. Um, Also, no discrimination here whatsoever. I believe that you believe in what you believe in as long as you don't tear anybody down, you know? Like, um, I believe that nobody really has the absolute truth of what divinity is like. So it's okay for people to have differing opinions and different beliefs as long as we don't tear each other down. Because that's just no good, you know? Alright. Ace of Wands. Even more confirmation for the inspiration, like you have so many ideas. And I feel like some of you guys in this collective may struggle with imposter syndrome, where it's like, oh, but do I really deserve this thing? Do I really deserve to have this spot? And it's like, I believe that as long as you don't hurt anybody and as long as you stay in your own lane and are focused, and just doing your own thing and just vibing, everybody deserves to have what they're hoping for and to accomplish their dreams, you know? Cuz like it'd be so silly. Okay. It'd be so silly to say that one does not deserve something just because, you know? Alright, give me 1 second because the card just fell to the floor. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So for some of you guys, it's in the literal sense. Could be where you're carrying, you could be doing heavy lifting. You could like doing heavy lifting jobs where you have to lift boxes or you have to use like a mechanical lift of some kind. For others, it could be in the emotional sense where you can't keep carrying all of this. You can't keep carrying like you want your heart to be in the right place. Does that make sense? Because that's what I heard, and I just want to make sure that I'm translating things properly. Um, because I'm seeing like somebody in an office setting again. Oh, sorry, my microphone got moved. Give me 1 second. Alrighty, there we go. Sorry about that. Um, but I'm seeing somebody in an office setting, kind of like grabbing boxes and organizing everything, and they're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I want to dedicate myself. This is where I know I can put my time on. Apologies if the microphone rustling was loud, by the way. Feel free to lower my volume. I still don't know how to make it so that my voice doesn't peak the microphone, but I will find a way to fix it eventually. Alrighty. Something about a crown. Like I hear something about a crown. Um, a tiara maybe? Kind of makes me think of the name Tiana. Maybe some of you, or somebody named Tiana, or you resonate with Tiana, the character. Um, the Princess and the Frog, right? That's where it's from. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I didn't think of that. Because, like, in the movie, she is working really, really hard in making sure that she can get her restaurant. So, like, maybe you guys want to open your own restaurant at some point. Maybe somebody here could work in the food service industry. Um, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love it when they give me, like, references through pieces of media because it just makes me so happy because then I can talk about that specific piece of media because I love it. Um, and I do be neurodivergent like that, so alrighty. Yeah, okay. For some of you in the collective, um, for some of you, it could literally be that you had to kind of stand your ground in this workplace. You had to kind of like, um, defend your viewpoint, defend like what you stood for, defend like protect yourself. Okay. Trigger warning cuz this could get intense. Alrighty. Give me 1 second. Yeah. You could have literally had to defend your ground, stand your ground. Um Rest assured that you're getting compensated for this thing that you had to go through where you had to stand your ground, especially if it was in a workplace and like a lot of different coworkers kind of hounded on you type thing. Um because that's gonna get rectified. That like that's not gonna I'm more so getting like if this is about an office like I keep for some reason I keep seeing and picking up on the office thing. Which is weird because I personally have never had like an office job. I hope I don't. Oh my god. Oh my god. I tried applying to one once and it didn't go well because it just felt so like I felt so cooped up. But like some people like it, and that's absolutely understandable, especially people that like the repetitiveness. I like the repetitiveness, but I also need stimuli, I also need like, somebody to be there to yap with me. Um I am a Gemini if you couldn't tell. Just in case, you know. I feel like that kind of tracks, like you're listen to me ramble and go on about stuff and you're like, "Nah, that makes sense." Um but anyways, sorry I got a little bit off track there. But if this was with like HR or like some kind of authoritative authoritative figure, maybe for some of you this isn't even about like an office specifically, but this is about somebody that had more of a like there's a power dynamic going on. Um and like this person had like the upper ground when it came to different things. And they took it too far. Um, it could be a mother, it doesn't have to be. It could also be somebody that you look up to. It could be like a like I said, an authority figure. This person could have taken it too far, and like spirit is like it's just not your burden to carry, because this what this person is doing or has done has more to do with themselves and how they have learned to manage conflict than it has to do with you. Um, alrighty. Because the thing is, like, sometimes, unfortunately, like, as much as I don't like the phrase hurt people," it does end up being the case where it's like, you know, people learn to kind of learn that that's all there is in life, like they think like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be the one to come out on top. I'm the one that's two steps ahead." And so instead of boosting one another, or instead of going, "Hey, maybe this person isn't actually the issue, and maybe like I have to look within, and there are things that I haven't quite healed from or healed yet." It's very, unfortunately, it's not as common that people have that type of mentality, especially, but like it's getting there. There's a lot of like mental health resources nowadays compared to before, and like it's getting there, but like at the same time, we should never allow for people like, because looking at it from the human aspect, and not villainizing anybody for anything, right? Is it really fair still for people to just do that to somebody, especially if it's somebody that, like, for example, like an employee that doesn't really have means, other, like, maybe this is their only job, or maybe they work two jobs to be able to maintain themselves. Like, I feel like sometimes we do get so caught up on, um, how can I explain this? Hold on, I'm trying to think of the wording. We get so caught up on the, it's because at the end of the day, it all boils down to, why do they have that and I don't, type of mentality. And this is what I wish people could understand. When you work on yourself, when you stay in your own lane, and you just put in the work, yes, it might take you longer. It might take you, or it might not take you longer, you know? Nobody truly knows. Only you can know until you try and do that yourself. But ultimately, we all get what we need. And if you're not getting the results that you want or need, it's because maybe there are different horizons that you should be looking into. But that's not an excuse to tear somebody down that is literally only trying to make it, you know? Like, you never know what somebody's going through at the end of the day. And that could be also the same thing for the person that's doing the poking and the ganging up on and the laughing. Like, you never know. But the difference is how we handle that pain. Like, are we going to lash out onto others, or are we going to be like, okay, no, I see this is where I went wrong. I will take a step back and I will either rectify my behavior or I will work on that behavior. That's the thing. That's the key line that is drawn between these two groups, you know? Where it's like, are you going to tear somebody down, or are you going to think and reassess and do things differently so that if another person similar to that person on that job comes around, you're like, oh, I have something to learn from this person. Let me see. You know, because in the end of the day, there's either you either get blessings or you get lessons. And lessons are still blessings if you think about it, because it's like, if I didn't have this knowledge about this particular topic, then I wouldn't have known how to navigate what I'm going through right now. Some of you guys could even be facing repetitions of things that happened in the past. And because you went through this specific thing, now you're able to navigate it a lot better than you did during that time. And with the tower in reverse, it could even be that you guys avoided that tower. You guys avoided a disaster. And some of you guys are kind of pondering and you're like, wow, if I didn't go through this experience, then I would have just walked right into this thing. Or maybe you will have that realization at some point where it's like, and don't get me wrong, not this is not to take how painful the experience is. I never want to do that. Especially as somebody that had to endure a lot this past few months, this past year. Um, Never take my readings as spiritual bypassing. Always acknowledge your feelings. Always acknowledge um the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because that's how it's meant to be. We're not machines. We're not dolls. We're human beings. You know. Alrighty. Alrighty. Somebody could be a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Feeling more Piscean than anything. You could be Pisces. Could be a Gemini, because I just got the lovers. Huh. Me when I wonder, is this reading for me? Oh my god! Okay. Some of you guys could work with Archangel Michael. Or you could just work with an angel in specific. Maybe some of you guys could work with Sandalphon. He's like a divine messenger. Some of you guys could actually work with Hermes. Hermes. Ooh, some of you guys could have been accused of stealing in your job when like falsely accused. Some of you guys could have been falsely accused in general of something you didn't do, and then because it was a situation where it was like the majority over the minority, which can I just say I hate stuff like that because it it's not how something like that should work. The high priestess, me when I'm right. Oh my oh my god. For those who don't know, the High Priestess is my signifier. Usually the High Priestess and the Moon are my signifiers, and then from the court cards, I would say I'm the Queen of Cups. Just because it kept showing up for me, so I took it as that. Um, because I like as much as I like to come off as somebody like detached from my own self-preservation, I'm really not a Queen of Swords. Like I will say things as like in a blunt way sometimes without really meaning to, but immediately I will be like, "No, I'm sorry. Was that too mean? I'm so sorry." you know. So I feel like that's more like my energy is just much more like emotional and watery and and soft, you know. All right, Ace of Swords. All right. I'm not gonna lie. This is my pile that like you be knowing, you be knowing. Like y'all are intuitive. Y'all catch on those vibes. And it could be like that your intuition told you everything you needed to know about the situation. Before you even like ask for it. Like you were just kind of getting inklings regarding the situation. Oh my god, if this is about a future job for me, I'm so cooked. I'm so cooked, but it's okay, because then I can just look back on this reading and I'll be like, huh, that makes sense. Or it could be about, uh, yeah. Well, it could be about something previously experienced, but that's okay. We live and we learn. Anyways, yeah, with the devil in reverse, you guys were released. And it's interesting that I said were released instead of released yourselves. Um, for some of you guys, it could also, because I'm resonating with my own situation, it could be that somebody, like either spiritually or in the mundane, um, got you out of this toxic environment, toxic situation, toxic job, where it was like either they were talking some sense into you, or it could be that, you have your Etsy witchy bestie, you know, and they were like, "Nah, I'm not gonna stand for that." Actually, um, and their energy got you out of this funk. They could have done something. Um, they could have been a tarot reader who told you about this information, and you were just like, "Nah." Because sometimes, like, as psychic as someone may be, as intuitive as somebody may be, you still have blind spots, especially when you're an emotional person and you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. We do, and this is including me, we do tend to kind of give people, the. Because you're just kind of like, no, they wouldn't do that to me. And then they do that to you, and you're just like, well, damn. Well, damn. You didn't have to do me like that, you know? Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright. Um, this situation could have really made you guys feel less confident in yourselves. Like it could have made you guys feel as if though again with the imposter syndrome and like thinking that you're something you're not because like this person got so into your head, that it was like for say for example, they say like you're lazy. You're you're a bad worker. You're bad at what you do. You're a horrible person. And so because you viewed this person in high regard in the like higher position, you were like, "Ah, well, maybe I am lazy. Maybe I am all of these things that this person is saying that I am, and maybe I should be putting in more effort." And maybe that's why Spirit told you to get up out of there because it was like, there was this power dynamic going on where it was like, ah, you know what scene is coming to my head right now? It's the I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a scene I saw it in a TikTok clip and it just repeated in my head, so I want to like describe it. But basically, um, it's this like group of girls that are hanging out, and so one of the girls asks her, "What type of bird are you?" And then one girl goes, "I'm a sparrow. She's a dove." Like outside of her. So then the girl looks over to her that's giving all like the answers for her, taking away her autonomy to make decisions, and goes, and she goes, "No, what kind of bird are you?" Like, because she wants her to be her own person, not what this other person wants her to be. And some of you guys could literally be struggling with this for literal decades, like decades. Like, and I feel like when this thing happened, it really set you back a lot. Like you had like moments of relapse where it was like, but am I this confident baddie, this confident queen? Like, am I really on my grind? And it's like, no, yeah. And that's what Spirit is trying to like get you to see. Um like when we are confident in who we are and where we came from and what our roots are, not to say that it's not going to hurt because we're human, and in the end of the day, depending on how close somebody was, it does hurt. It does hurt us. But the more secure you are within yourself and who you are, the less likely it is for somebody to come into your life and decide what you are worthy or not of. Because nobody can decide that for you. In the same way where that's why I have so many mixed opinions about posting on TikTok because so many people have this idea that unfortunately like, "Oh, you said this? Okay, then you actually don't deserve anything, actually. And if we could take your oxygen, we would take it." Like, no. That's what? That's why there is a saying that goes, and trigger warning in case this triggers somebody with like mental health or religious trauma or anything, but um that's why there's a saying that goes, "He who is free of sin may cast the first stone," because nobody is truly perfect. And that actually may resonate with some of you guys. Like, I feel like maybe I said it and you were like, "Oh, oh my gosh." And I love when that happens because that just means that I am helping. Okay, again with the making decisions, making plans, some of you guys could be putting in the work towards moving jobs. Maybe you found a better job opportunity for you that's just so much better than this one that you had before. So much healthier too. Um, oh man, give me 1 second. I dropped my entire deck on the ground. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. Also, while I was picking up my cards, they gave me such a funny download. That's why I'm laughing. Or trying not to laugh, but it was like, okay. So I said that some of you guys could work with Archangel Michael, and you guys, if you've heard of the amazing world of Gumball, when Gumball is trying to convince Penny's dad of letting them date, and he's like, "So why don't you give me one more chance?" Somebody you guys could have somebody on the like a romantic interest, like it's giving somebody that you never really fully formalize things with, that is trying to spin the block. And if you guys work with Archangel Michael or just divinity in general, um he just shut the door in their face. So why don't you give me one more? And then just slams the door. Alrighty. Ooh, for some very specific, you could have formalized some kind of work relationship with a deity. Um, Anubis is coming through. Anubis. Ra could be significant. Ra could be around you. If you're not interested in deity worship, that's absolutely fine. Just putting that out there. Alrighty. Some of you could work with Lilith. Love that divine feminine. Love to see it. Alrighty, give me 1 second. Yeah. Even more confirmation for somebody out there that's afraid of being homeless. Um, you're and also very important. This isn't me trying to diminish the homeless experience by any means. I support anybody in any kind of state. I have been in those situations where I've struggled myself because I usually tell people my family has money, I don't have money, and I think it would be incredibly in poor taste and very derogatory towards homeless people. Um, However, I will say there is somebody in my energy that is currently very scared of losing their home situation, like their home in general, and you won't. You're not gonna end up like that because that would be cruel. And even though sometimes life can be cruel, you have a team of people, it could be literally like, you know, coworkers, it could literally be family, it could be friends that have your back, and you're not alone. No one is ever truly alone. It's like that one saying where it's like if you think it's the end, it isn't. And if how was the saying? I forgot. If you think it's the end, it's not really the end. And then if it's actually the end, you won't truly fully know, you know? Something along those lines. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to translate what I'm channeling. Because something that I experience as a medium, and I don't know if like anybody else experiences this. First of all, I forget most of the things that I channel. Like I don't remember most of the things that I channel. And if I do remember, it's because it was important and it was for me to keep, you know? However, a second thing that I have realized happens is that I will hear like just jumbled static. Just jumbled static. And then I'm like, okay, that's this thing. Or I'll hear like the words and I'll see the words in my mind's eye, like clairvoyantly, and it's like with this like reverb echo type of thing. It's like that one thing where it's like a new hand touches the beacon. That type of vibe, and it's really funny. And I just want to know, like, if an intuitive person comes across this, let me know if that's something similar to what you experience. But that's pretty much the closest I can get. All right. Also, I'm hearing you come into my house. You come into my house. Oh my god. Somebody. Oh my god. Somebody's guides are. They're like, that's my baby. Leave my baby alone. And the other person's guides are just like, yeah. Yeah. Oh. I think what's really funny is like when two people or three people or like multiple people have beef. Because I was seeing this on TikTok where it was like people having beef. And they were like, what person does the deity favor if all of them are devotees to that specific deity? And then the person goes on to explain that they actually go with the one that has the like the most justified and the most like pure of intentions when it comes to like doing the thing. So they're like, okay, this person did this because of this, and then this person did this because of this, and then now if you're both wrong, I am so sorry to inform you that both of you guys are both of you guys are getting Among Us voted out. I am so sorry, but that's usually not the case. For the most part, it ends up being a learning experience for both devotees anyway, so it's equally as beneficial. Alright. Oh! For some of you guys, you could resonate with King Asmodeus, because the King of Wands popped up, and I always, like, it resonates with King Asmodeus for me, so it might resonate for you. It doesn't have to. For some of you guys, you could like the I know that in Narnia, Aslan, I think is the name of the lion. I could be pronouncing it wrong. I am so sorry. English is not my native language. And I'm so sorry if I pronounced it super funny, but I think that's okay. Um, but I know he's supposed to be like a like a representation of God. So some of you guys could literally be like very devoted to like the universe, God, whatever label you want to place it in. Again, you could be Christians, you could be Catholics. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what your belief system is, like I said, as long as you don't tear other people down on behalf of that. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I normally speak Spanish, and I um went to a bilingual school, but my special interest was learning languages at the time, so I kind of learned to mimic the sounds of different letters. Oh my God, thank you so much. I had, oh my gosh, I am honored. Thank you so much. Um, so I had practice on that regard. I appreciate it very much because I just, ooh, sorry. Again, more confirmation on the Christian. Um, I will say I don't agree with the egregore, the Christian egregore. Also, no, I'm not from Spain. I am from Central America. I don't want to say my country for safety reasons, and also because I was legally advised not to share anything too private on the internet for undisclosed reasons that I do not want to get into in this live stream. But um yeah, for my own safety basically. I can never fix my pronunciation in English. Oh, honestly, I would say practice mimicking the because one thing that I noticed is because people were always telling me like, how do you get rid of the lisp whenever you speak, whenever you talk in like English? And practicing the phonetics in the word makes it really helpful. Um, like like um say for example, you want to say something like let me think of a word like bottle. Um, so if the depending on where you're from, in my case, some people would say bottle or bottle, and it's really funny. So just try and practice like bottle, bottle. You know, like mimicking and using letters like for example saying like the d sound that really helps that really helped me when I was learning English and how to pronounce everything, and also because I am autistic and that was my special interest at the time. Oh, sorry about that. My door shut on its own, but that's okay. um I can't decide if I should choose the British or American pronunciation. I honestly like go with go with what you like the most, you know? Like some people even go as far as to pronounce certain words in the American way and then other people do it in the British way. Like that's absolutely fine. You don't have to go by a guidebook. Just go with what you feel is right for you. Um Alrighty, what else? Give me 1 second. I am. It's funny when I'm like talking about other things, and then my spirit team is like, "Hey, hey, the reading," and I'm like, "Oh," and that's on having a low attention span, by the way. That's on having ADHD. Alrighty, let me put my cards and reshuffle again and see what more messages do you have for the collective spirit. Alright. Yeah. Oh, this is so cute. Loving this for you guys. You guys are making conscious effort and decision making on um having more reciprocal connections, you know, having meaningful connections. Like some of you guys like there's nothing wrong with surface level connections because something I learned from my best friend actually is that sometimes you know, friendships have different levels, and sometimes you talk to a person for a specific reason, and then other times you talk to a different person because you share a specific interest, and that's okay. Like everybody knows how to socialize with people in their own way. Um, and as long as it, like, is healing for the both of you, the better. I have a problem with relationships. Could you give me a reading on that? I want to know what I'm doing right or what the problem is with me because I wonder if I'm on the spectrum too. Okay. I can't tell you if you are or aren't on the spectrum, unfortunately, because I'm not a medical professional. I can give you vibes, but just be aware of that because I can look into that for you, no worries. Like did Okay, so you meant like in like friendships. Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty, let's see. What's the deal with that spirit? Okay. What's the deal with that spirit? Can you Alrighty. Ooh. Alrighty. So I definitely do feel like it's difficult for you to establish certain kinds of relationships because you crave depth in a relationship. Like you crave um the like authenticity and people being honest and real. And unfortunately, what I like to say sometimes is like because you know how there's like neurotypicals and neurodivergent people, neurotypicals have a specific way of communication that doesn't always align with um the way like neurodivergent people communicate because a neurodivergent person will tell you, "Hey, I would like for you to do all the dishes." And like you go and you do all the dishes because they're like, "I would like for you to do the dishes." But then a neurotypical person will be like, "Oh, there's dishes sitting out in the dishwasher." And you're just like, "What?" And you're just like, "Oh, yeah." And like it's that barrier. Not to say that neurotypicals and neurodivergent people can't be friends. There definitely can be exceptions, especially because, um, like, I feel like it does require compromise, though, and a lot of understanding on both ends that what might look a certain way for one person is not the same for the other, and so on and so forth. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad this is helping though because um I felt like I really needed to mention both of the distinctions because a lot of the time neurotypicals will unfortunately take it personally almost because they're like, "Oh, well, you're being rude. You're being too direct." And for a person that is neurodivergent, um you're like, but I'm just telling you what I want out of the situation. I'm not trying to be rude. And maybe you even vocalize that you're not trying to be rude. But and here's the thing, and this is very important because they're telling me to highlight it. It is not your responsibility to monitor how something comes off to somebody else. Never, ever, ever. Because if you know that you had good intentions and you know that what you said is not at all what this person is making it out to be, then that's not on you. That's on the other person. And the thing is they could even easily vocalize and be like, "Hey, did you mean this?" Because that's how a conversation works. I'm glad this is resonating. I'm very glad this is resonating. But So you could literally be like, did you mean this? However, especially when there's, yeah, you don't have to justify yourself to somebody that like is, because the thing is, and this is coming from somebody that still does it, unfortunately, and I wish I could speak more about the situation, but I would rather keep certain things private. But there comes a point where you ought to stop explaining yourself, like oh, but what if they take it this way, and what if I post something like this, or what if I talk about something like this, and they take it completely out of context and villainize me for it. That's not your responsibility. That's just, like, you shouldn't have to, especially if she's older than you, which is it does seem to be the case here. Um it's not your responsibility to manage how she's going to handle receiving the information, especially if you went out of your way to make sure that what you said wasn't hurtful. Especially cuz I keep seeing somebody going in kind of like a loop, where it's like the going from point A to point B to point C to going back to A again, and then going to C and then B, and then just wondering, what am I doing wrong? And you're not doing anything wrong. Oof. And like, not trying to like villainize your mom by any means, or any, because I do not know her on a personal level, so I can't speak on how she is. However, I do definitely feel that as the adult in the situation, um, there should be a certain level of understanding on her end as well, to avoid these kinds of clashings, because sometimes it feels like butting heads. Sometimes it could feel like you having to explain yourself and your entire existence. Yeah. Some of you guys could work with Apollo. You don't have to, but he's coming through. We love to see it. Um, sometimes, sometimes even though you kind of want to say your piece to somebody, especially somebody that is committed to misunderstanding you, sometimes the best thing that you can do in that type of scenario is literally just walk away from the situation entirely and just disconnect, And if you're not able to like leave your house for any reason, or if you're not able to leave the room immediately, maybe like divert your attention into like something else, like your phone, or maybe say like, I have to go to the bathroom, or I have to go get some water, and play it off like you're going to go and like maybe actually do drink some water, because water does help us calm down, and ground us. But it's kind of, because it's hard. Because I could sit here and be like, don't respond, don't react, but you never really know until you're in that situation and you're experiencing that. Um, because getting a little bit personal, that's also kind of how my mom is, where she, like, you'll tell her A, B, and C, and then she'll be like, "Oh no, but this," and she brings up something completely unrelated to what I was even saying, and it's just like, okay, I cannot do more than what I'm doing right now. Like I can't, like I could sit here, I could make you a PowerPoint presentation with memes and audio and everything, but I'm not gonna do that. And I feel like that's what Spirit kind of wants you to, um because it's easier said than done. It's easier to sit here and listen to me telling you to do it than it is to actually put in the effort and put in the work on doing it, because like I said, especially when people like, purposely push our buttons and then, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear. Yeah, these kinds of situations are very difficult to navigate. I'm so sorry. But I wish you the best, and I really hope that my reading can bring you some clarity and some peace of mind, honestly, because that's literally the only reason I'm still doing these. Alrighty. Yeah. Okay, back again, because I just got the Seven of Wands, which is like having to defend yourself, having to stand your ground, having to set boundaries. Um, and sometimes saying listen, I want to hear you out and I want to talk with you. However, I cannot do it if all it boils down to is this, you know? And not gonna lie, she might get frustrated, so I'm not at fault for being alone in the world. Okay, I feel very strongly, and I could verify it with cards, because, not gonna lie, that's how I feel sometimes as well. Sometimes, especially with, being, uh, psychic and being able to do certain things that people can't. You kind of start to feel, no, no, please never change your soft side, friend. Um, I believe that softness is also resistance. Oh yeah, and that like clashes. I'm sure. I can imagine. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, friend. I'm wishing you the best in this situation. I can like pull. Actually, let me get my oracle cards because my oracle cards are very soft, and I feel like never lose your joy and whimsy. Never. Like you you can be soft sometimes, but then stern when you need to be. It's like a realization that I made myself a couple weeks ago, where it's like you don't have to be this like tough persona exterior. You can be tough when you need to be tough and strong when you need to be strong, but you can also be whimsical when you want to be whimsical, like when you're when you're with people that you trust, when you're with yourself, when you're with a pet. Then I would say it's just hard because I could sit here and be like, just walk away from her. But, you know, people unfortunately do be people in. And sometimes people like to follow, which is something that I do not like, because whenever do you have because I was thinking maybe you could, whenever that sort of thing happens, if you are an adult, by the way, not like if you're a minor, please don't endanger yourself, just making sure. Um, but if you can, maybe like go elsewhere, like go to a restaurant, go to a cafe, go buy yourself a drink, go like treat yourself. Um, maybe even go to like the mall and divert your attention, because it's really not fair that you it's not fair to yourself that your entire day gets like ruined or spoiled because of one person. Like Nobody deserves that. Like, you deserve to feel safe in your own self. You deserve to feel safe in the environment that you're in. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me get some advice cards for you because and like this is kind of like the sad part about being a tarot reader because like sometimes I wish I could do more than I do, but at the same time I kind of went through a whole character arc where I like it's like this is why you shouldn't do more than what you can do. You know? And I feel like maybe that applies to you too, you know? Like you seem like the kind of person that is hardworking. You know, you go and like if there's something that you want, you try and go and get it, you know? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, could you guys hear my birds? My birds were being loud for a second in the background and it was really funny. Alrighty. Communication is key. Alrighty. Let's see. What is this? Communication is key, spirit. And nothing is yet set in stone. Okay. Well, this is great because this is confirmation that what you're living through currently isn't going to be your forever. Like, sometimes when things get too bad, it might feel like it is. Like, it might feel like the situation is permanent. Um, but it's really not. And I have this saying that goes, redirection is protection. But at the same time, there are certain opportunities that don't happen because we're being protected, you know? And not to bring up what's happening around the world again, but that's, a big deal. And yeah, no, I completely understand. Yes. I completely understand. Um, hold on. Oh, that's so thank you, Spirit. Believe in the impossible with Blue Moon. That's so cute. Um, I definitely do feel like there's a sense of divinely guided. Should I move out now? I would lose a lot financially making that move. Okay. First and foremost, please never do like I said in the beginning, but I'm not sure if you were here in the beginning, but never make hasty permanent decisions. Never make hasty permanent decisions based on my ratings because I would never want to see you in a position where you cannot take care of yourself because of advice or reading that I gave you. Um, if you feel called, because first and foremost, what matters the most is your safety and your overall well being. So if you have the funds to be able to do it and you know that you'll be safe when you do it, I would consider that. I would put a pin on it and consider that heavily. Especially if like there's this saying like does the pain of staying outweigh the fear of the unknown, you know? Alrighty. Just making sure because like it did actually like come up that like yeah. So remember how I told you like this had like divine aspects to it? I just got the card surrender to the divine. Oh my god, I love when this happens. Like I'm straight up just channeling, and then this card just pops up. I love it so much. um, I would say honestly, like I don't know if like prayer is your thing. If not, then just talk to your guides, talk to your spirit team and be like, "Listen, I genuinely want to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. Please like show me a way that is that doesn't bring harm to anybody involved where I can find that stability." And um oh, yay, I do too. I like I don't know if you do this, but I like to have like a little talk session at night where it's like, okay, hello, it's me again. I have I have lore to inform you of, even though you know already, but I have to tell you the the Val edition of the lore. And sometimes I even like dream stuff that I talk to them about before going to bed, and I think that's really cool. Or I get like confirmation the morning after with like something specific that I said showing up on like a piece of media, and I'm like, oh, they listen. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad it's resonating. But yeah, maybe you should do that too, and like I don't know if you drink coffee or you make yourself tea, like maybe like dedicate that tea that you're drinking, to your spirit team or to God, and you're just like, here, I am giving you this because not necessarily because you want something unless you feel called to ask, because there's nothing wrong with asking. Um, there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking and being like, in exchange for this cup of tea, could I have this specific thing? And sometimes it's a no. Sometimes it's a no. But other times they're like, yes, but will you work for this? Or will you make space for this? Or will you, Um, and usually when it's a no, it's because God has seen things that we don't see, because I've had moments and experiences with people where it's like, I want for this person to be my forever person. I want for this person to be, the one for me, or like for this person to stay forever. And then they go, actually, we're rerouting everything. And I'm like, huh? And it's it's tragic when it happens, but then in hindsight, it's funny because I was like, okay, it feels like I have my life together. Feels like everything is great, everything is awesome. But am I safe to proceed? Am I safe to be in this place that I'm in right now? And they're like, no. And then it's like I wish people understood that that's usually how I operate. Um, because not that I can't make my own decisions, not that I can't make my own decisions as a human being, but the thing is that I'm so committed to my path, my journey, that I don't like doing decisions that don't align with the divine. Because And don't get me wrong, we all have moments where, like, we're human, of course. Like that, let's not ignore our humanity. Where it's like, it's like that one scene with Mufasa and like the baboon guy. I forgot his name. Is it Rafa? I forgot his name. But he's like, "Are you sure about that? Are you crazy?" And it's like that's us towards the divine, where it's like, "Are you sure this is the path that I'm meant to go down?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then like I'm just seeing somebody with like two thumbs up, like, "Yeah, that's the path that you're meant to go down on." Um, and usually, unfortunately, it's either for three out of, or like it could be for a lot of reasons actually, but usually it's because either there's interference in the way, one person is not doing the healing necessary, the healing that it takes for there to be advancements, because unfortunately sometimes people don't want to put in the work and they just want like the result, like they just want like the very shiny beneficial thing, and then just like, oh, but I'm gonna still be the same and still be doing everything that I've been doing. And like that's it really depends, because sometimes it's okay to sit in that same energy depending on what it is. But if it's something like, let's say, like it's very malicious, very toxic, very like that is going to end up hurting either or, um that's why things don't work out. So if you ever wondered like, oh, why did that friendship not work out how I intended it to, or why did that like love interest that I had not work out how I wanted to, it's because, and sometimes you can be the problem too, because I think that I'm at a point in my healing journey where it's like, yeah, I can say that I was the drama in this situation, and I can say that I messed up too, because there are different situations for different people, and like I said, nobody is perfect. Um, but ultimately, what I like to really, how I like to operate is that I don't make decisions without talking to my spirit team about it. They're like my little PR team. I really try not to be the drama. Honestly, kudos to you, because that's how we should be. However, I do feel like sometimes you can be the drama. And it really depends. It's really situational, because like max level of toxicity I reach with people is quite quitting on them. No, you have no idea how much I resonate with that personally. Like okay, like dude, I be like talking to people, and I'm like, listen, this is why this and this and this and this is why I can't be repeating um this and this and this and this is why I can't be repeating this pattern that you're showing me, and I think that it's better if the both of us just go our separate ways rather than hurting each other, or vice versa, or one hurting the other. And when I leave, oh my god, like, and the thing is, it would be fine. Like, I would be like, okay, well, then I was the problem in this situation. But why does it happen when, like, I understand that it sucks when people leave, but I'm the kind of person that, like, would you rather I had been fake to your face? Like, or would you rather I had been discontent with you, or like put up a facade? put up a mask? No, nobody wants that. I like to be authentic. I like to be truthful. I am not the kind of person to settle in places that aren't um healing for the both of us. Like if I start to feel as if though there is toxicity, like too much toxicity, because again, we're still human and people are bound to be toxic unintentionally or intentionally. However, in most often cases, I will leave immediately when I find out that that toxicity is intentional and deliberate because you're not going to catch me in 2026 putting up with that. Uh-uh. Absolutely not. But I also do over explain and overly try to make people understand when they obviously just. Here's the thing. Like, at some point, like, I would say explaining the same thing 3 times is enough. Because if you're constantly, like, over explaining yourself, trying to get this person to understand where you're coming from or why you did a certain thing, like, first of all, that's an indicator that something is wrong in that dynamic. Because why are you over explaining yourself so much? Why are you um explaining your every move? Like explaining like your entire life basically. And not to say, to be like cut that person off, because no, and I trust your own autonomy as a person to be able to do your own decisions, based on your situation. But it just comes to a point where it just gets really tiring. Really tiring to have to explain to somebody over and over and over why what they're doing is wrong and why they shouldn't do um like or why they should even treat you like a human. Like that's just no. Do you see me attracting better people? I can look into that for sure. I know my thing says like free readings one per person, but like genuinely like I low-key like doing these a lot, so I think I'm gonna get rid of that. Um, However, if you're ever interested in a general reading, oh, I need to update my prices. I'm gonna do that after this live actually, because for those that aren't aware, I decided to lower my prices because I was thinking a lot about what was happening around the world, and also because unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way that my prices were a tad bit high. And by a tad bit high, I mean very high. And I did not know that because, like, what happened was I would see other tarot readers charge that price for stuff. So I would be like, oh, okay, so this is the standard. This is the reasonable amount. But I will be fixing that soon. And I will be making my prices more affordable for and also giving out more options available, you know? Alright, hold on, sorry. I'm gonna do your reading right now. Do I see you attracting better people for you? Alright. Alright. First and foremost, I see you choosing like learning how to choose better company, people that are like basically walking away from things that don't serve you, like not every cup that is given to you is a good opportunity. I used to be the kind of person that it would be like, okay, well, spirit is going to send me this opportunity, therefore this is the opportunity for me, like this is the person I should go for. When no, that's why discernment is so important because sometimes some opportunities come into our lives to test us and to see if we've really done the healing. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Alright. Um, can you give me confirmation for this spirit, please? Ugh, I just got lightheaded. Alright. I just heard John Mulaney. I don't know why. Look at that high-waisted man. He got feminine hips. No, that's the thing I'm sensitive about. I love John Mulaney. Hold on. Alrighty, so ooh. Okay. Alrighty. I am first and foremost, I would like to formally apologize. Not because this is good. It's just that there's tower energy, and tower energy is never bad. However, tower energy can be very like just out of nowhere breakthrough type of thing where like remember how I said like that you had to walk away from things for things to be able like for things to be able to kind of clear. That's what this is giving. Um, having to like walk away from certain. I think honestly feel like it's more of like thought patterns. And maybe like some actions to a certain extent because I definitely do feel like after this tower, there's a period of time, especially when you. Oh, okay, then that's great. That's great news because I was about to say that after this tower, there's a period of fulfillment for you where it's like, okay, well, you are learning to discern um, what you don't want out of relationships from what you do want. Because there is this reminder to not get distracted with the shiny things. Just because something looks good doesn't mean it actually is. And I think I did say that also in the beginning for the job opportunity. So maybe like it has to do with friendships and also like jobs. Lost my job and so-called work friends blocked me essentially. Well, like I said, that redirection is protection, and I definitely do feel that the way that they're describing it to me too is kind of like unclogging a drain, where it's like that drain was so full and so like filled with gunk, and Spirit was like, "No, we gotta make way. We gotta make way." Um, because like you could have resonated with that draining you and not serving you. And I don't know if you're interested or maybe you did pursue a major or want to pursue a major for something, maybe something related to the arts. Yeah. Usually when it's abrupt endings like that, it's because like we needed to get out of there, you know? Like you needed to have like that freedom from that person, place, or thing, unfortunately. Because it's the way I describe it, it's like spirit pulling the rug under you. Um, where it's like if you would have stayed in that situation for longer, it would have been a lot more um it would have been a lot more damaging than beneficial, unfortunately. Alrighty. Um I definitely with the Knight of Pentacles, this is gonna be slow moving, but I feel like it's gonna have just the right amount of momentum for you because it's so you know how sometimes when we get fast movement that ends up fizzling out just as fast? So Spirit is kind of like uh, guiding you towards a better opportunity where it's like cuz like say for example we did this with the garden, right? Um, like if we were to just get the plant, and just plant it abruptly in the soil, and maybe a little bit of manure, maybe a little bit of like or fertilizer, I forgot. I think it's fertilizer, yeah. Um and like a lot of water without even looking at the measurements. Like that's not gonna like it's like poor little flower, Poor little plant. Like that's why some things take time because it's the law of correspondence. The energy that we put onto the universe comes back to us. If I still have to go through 5 situations that are in front of me, just tell me what to go for. I'll go that way. I feel like in this case, surrendering would be a good idea. Like surrendering to the universe, would be a good idea because sometimes, because don't get me wrong, sometimes it's definitely better to take decisive action for yourself. But if you've tried 5 different ways and it hasn't been working, usually it's an indicator that you should just let things happen as they happen. Kind of like the hangman energy, where it's like the hangman from tarot, where it's like just 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 being, that's the kind of energy. Cause they flashed the card in my mind's eye. So we doing that. Oh, sorry, I got a notification from somebody and I'm checking. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Good to know. Sorry, I had someone text me. Doot 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 doot. Give me 1 second. Where are my cards? Where did I put them? I keep losing my cards in the middle of the live. What is this? Hello, welcome back. Thank you. Here they are. Sorry about that. Is there anything else that you would like to know? Or would that be it? Alrighty. Hold on. Ooh. Loki, me when I squint at you. Loki. Bro thought I wouldn't find him in my energy. Alrighty. I'm glad I could help you out. I sincerely hope, some of the things that I say can be of some help. Um, and I sincerely wish you the best when it comes to these things because, believe me, I'm going through something right now that requires for me to get a job for money. Um, but, um, I think that ultimately we will be where we need to be when we need to be. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting from your reading too. That's good. That's kind of also the point of my readings to like bring reflection to people so that they can have those confirmations and then they can do like the inner work themselves. Oh yeah. Tell me about it. Oh my god. Listen, if I can't talk about it though because I do have an NDA on my old job, so I can't really talk about it, but if I could, huh, the tea that I would spill in this live, but I won't. Thank you. I hope so too, because unfortunately on third world countries, mental health isn't really that taken into consideration when it comes to workplaces. But hopefully I find a place that is really good. I actually have a candle that I will light after this live to help me out with that. Maybe you could also light a little candle if you can, if you don't have any pets, because do keep in mind if you do have pets, the candles are bad for their little lungs. So just be aware of that and practice fire safety safely. Uh, uh, why did I get this emperor in reverse? Oh, nice! Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Thank you so much for tuning into my live. Oh my gosh. I love when it's oh my ears just started ringing like really high pitched. Owie. And that's on tinnitus. Yeah, go light one. Go for it. Go for it. We'd love to see it. Is somebody watching my live right now that is not supposed to be watching my live right now? That's probably what this is. Me when I me when I be knowing. Me when I be knowing. Go look elsewhere. Stop looking at my lives. Is that what the you come into my house was about? Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so funny. That's gonna be so funny after I get off. After I get off of this live. Oh my god. Alrighty. Anyways, yeah, mental health is not much of a thing here too. Yeah. I hope one day we get into a state, like maybe not like hopefully globally. I would like for it to be globally, but we get in a place where like we acknowledge just how important mental health is. The issue with like mental health and stuff like that is that a lot of capitalistic companies don't benefit from mental health being prioritized because then that means less work hours. Although, hopefully, with what is going on around in the world, it do start mattering. I would love for that to happen because, man, and actually, like, I think honestly, like, right now, even though things look bleak, there's also certain things that are happening that are very beneficial for everybody. Because I was kind of like, because I have a tendency, to be hyper paranoid about the state of the world and everything. And then people were like posting like hope core and stuff like that, and they were like, actually, here is 25 different good things that happened last week. And I'm like, oh. And like, I hope we can get to a point where that multiplies, and like we just get better as a society collectively because this old way of doing things is not serving anybody. Last question. Do you think I should move to a different country? Oh, that is a big decision, friend. Um, I can give you vibes, but I can't say like yes or no definitively because that is a big decision. Um, I can give you vibes though. Alrighty. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Ah, okay, there's the part that you were saying, because you were saying that there was something that you had to let go of, like you would have to leave financial security behind in some capacity. Um, and it's showing up. Oh my gosh, they gave me that one song by I forget the artist. I never remember the artist of the songs. I just remember the melodies. I am so sorry. But it's that song that goes, "Listen to your heart when it's calling for you. I don't know where I'm going and I don't know why, but listen to your heart before you tell it goodbye." Alrighty. I definitely do actually like I'm picking up that you're going to kind of avoid some sort of conflict by moving. Um, oh, you know the song? Oh, that's great. I love when they give me like songs and then people recognize it. That's really cute. But it definitely does seem like you'd be avoiding some kind of conflict by moving. Um, like I'm not getting like a like conflict with like a family member. I'm more so getting like conflict in the place itself, like in the country itself. Um, I keep hearing as above, so below. I don't know if that has significance for you, but I thought I'd just put that out there. Um, but there is a sense of kind of like sacrifice that you would be making where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be less financially stable if I go this route. Um, However, I do see that kind of balancing out. I see. Okay. Alrighty, thank you so much for confirming that for me because there is this energy of conflict and like avoidance of said conflict. Um because I unfortunately I am ashamed, but I do not have as much knowledge on geographical um things are going on geopolitically and everything, so I apologize. Um you would have to learn because maybe you're not used to doing so much on your own, or maybe there it could literally be because that's how it's translating in my mind. It could literally be that you would have to get used to the a different culture altogether. And it could literally be a culture that you're seeing a lot on social media where you're just like, I really want to go to this place and I really want to like visit this place. And like maybe ask yourself if the reason why you feel so called to that place is because you want to go there. Like you want to and like what I would personally do, and this is just me personally, like what I would do is if I really wanted to be in a specific place, travel there as a tourist first and get like a feel of what it would be like to live there. Like let's say for example, like stay there for a couple days, maybe a week, maybe more than a week if you're able to. Because that's usually how a lot of people kind of get a feel of the place because I would already. Oh, you did that already. That's lovely. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. Oh my gosh. Um, that's so cool. Yeah, so hold on. I am getting references for like Arabic country, like because I'm seeing like the belly dancers, like, with like the little outfits that have the little bells on them, the little jingles. I'm seeing that. I've been to France twice. It's better than here, but not that great. Oh, ooh, I agree. France is really nice. I have never been to France personally. The closest thing to France that I've gone to is Canada. Um, but it's really nice. I definitely like being there. Unfortunately, maybe not my go-to choice of staying, unfortunately. Yeah, that I can tell you as somebody that lives in a third world country. Like you will see that the like if you transfer your money into the currency, that's a lot of money. But when that fades out, you know, and you're just left to be like working there, you start to realize like, oh, okay, cost of living is low because economy is low. Man. Um, but it is what it is. Hold on. I wonder how Canada is IRL. As somebody that went there, it's really nice depending on where you go to. I went to wait, was it what I think I went to Toronto and it was really nice. It was very cold because I went during like a actually we went in the summer to avoid the cold and we still got very cold. And people were telling us like enjoy the nice weather and I was here like this is nice weather to you. um but there are many different places. You can even find like a common ground, like maybe if you don't like France, maybe you could find somewhere near France that is more to your liking, more of a rural rural area. There we go. Um because I would love to live in a place where there's like a mixture of city and nature because that's kind of how my country is where it's like we don't really like get rid of all the trees and the grass like we build around with the infrastructure and it looks really nice. The beaches here are really nice too. I definitely would recommend. um Again, for safety reasons, I can't, even if I wanted to, I can't say what specific place I'm from. Um, because the walls have eyes, and the wall doesn't like me very much. But that's okay. I just got like a mental image like of I don't know if you use TikTok, but like it's like that one meme that's going around that's like the walls have eyes and it's like a bunch of my plushies. Oh, oh, I forgot. I do have my plushie set up as my protection wards, actually. I just remembered that. Oh my God, that is so silly of me. I forgot. Europe is like that too. Oh, nice. I've never been to Europe. I kind of do want to go to Spain though, actually, genuinely, because um my family has some Spanish ancestry and like I have family there. So I kind of like actually genuinely do want to go to Spain and check out how it is. Um, the problem is the societal culture. That would be an issue in Spain, but it is what it is. No place is perfect. There will always be upsides and downsides. Alrighty. Ooh. I will say it's been 2 hours. Oh, just avoid Barcelona. Yeah, yeah, honestly. Like I would have to look for like a more um the closest thing to a village than like an actual like big city. Because I feel like at the same time, big cities like that overwhelm me because you should have seen me when I first went to a Costco. I was awestruck. I never thought a Costco would be as big as it was. Like, like we have like little shops, like the mini Walmarts, and then there's this big Costco that's the size of like six houses, even like probably even bigger. And I'm just here like I don't know what to do. This is intimidating to me. Cause like, why do you have like 22 different flavors of the same thing? Hello? I mean, no, don't get me wrong. That's cool. That's great. Actually, I'm getting trailed off. I am so sorry. I love yapping. I love talking. And I am in such a good mood. Yeah, no, it's huge. Costco's are huge. I love them though. I love their pizzas. And they're like when they give like free samples. I love that too. Anyways, back to the reading because I got very trailed off. I'm so sorry. I just got so excited about the Costco. I'm so sorry. I got so cold stuck about the Costco. And also the countries because like you never know, And it's always nice to have somebody in chat just stirring up conversation and talking about their life experiences and then you share a little bit of yours. Cuz like it builds community and I love that. Alrighty. To continue with general reading, I do see that a lot of you guys could be making like head over heart decisions. Especially in regards to like boundaries and stuff like that. Remember what I said in the beginning? They're trailing me back to that, where it was like, could you just give me one more chance? And then like Archangel Michael or like the deity that protects you is like, no, no, and they just slammed the door. Because for some of you guys, it could have been like this really serious thing that they made you go through. Um, because again, and very important to keep in mind, intent doesn't negate impact. Just because somebody goes, well, I didn't mean for this thing to go this way, or well, I didn't mean for this and this and this to happen, but that still doesn't negate everything that happened to you, like the harm that was done, unintentionally or intentionally. Um, so I feel like you guys will have to be making a head over heart decision where it's like, oh God, oh God, oh my God, no 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 no. Sorry, 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 sorry. I'm thinking. Hold on. Can you give me more clarification on that? Okay, I got the lovers. Yeah, so yeah, for some of you guys, it could literally be like a romantic relationship or somebody. Of course, it was a pleasure to read for you, friend. Like, always glad to help with what I can. Like, like I said before, I cannot help much more than being a support. But with what I do, it makes me really happy. Alrighty, thank you for stopping by, and you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever it is, from wherever you're watching. Alrighty. Alrighty, so as I was saying, for some of you guys, it could literally be like this was a romantic connection or something that could have turned romantic. That spirit is like, nope, nope, shut the door on this. Um, because it depending on what it was or what situation you guys went through, um, they're basically saying like you have to make a head over heart decision, like meaning like even though this person brought you a certain level of happiness to like remember why things ended and how things turned out in the end. Because, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second.